Brand New Made is Band-Maid's third studio album, and it was released on May 18th, 2016. The album charted at number 19 on the Oricon charts and at number 15 on Japanese Billboard, marking the first time the band had charted in the top 20 on either chart and any chart in general. This is also the first album to receive an international release. This album was supported by the single/music videos for The Non-Fiction Days, Before Yesterday, and Alone. Now, before we get into this album, I want to ask you, of the songs that got a music video for this album, which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. And now, on to the artwork. The artwork of this album has a gray background with 5 swings, 2 in the front, 3 in the back. The ropes of the swings are actually very floral with vines and with flowers on them that are blooming. Each of the band members is on a swing with the exception of Saiki and Miku. From left to right, Misa is on the back facing forward. Miku is facing forward and sitting on the ground with her knees forward and her legs back. Her feet back, excuse me. Akane is on the back facing left. Saki's Baki is facing left and her hand is on the vine with her head facing forward. And Kanami is facing forward. Overall, this is a cover that has a very neat aesthetic and I do like it. So for me, the cover is an 8 out of 10. Onto the album itself. The album opens with The Non-Fiction Days, which is an interesting title, like the days of a relationship that are reality and not fantasized in one's minds. You could take the title meaning deeper, however. The song is just fantastic. It has a really strong chorus. It keeps itself fresh throughout. For some reason, to me, Saki's vocal on the track sounds like a lot like the girl from the Visual Kei band Ganglion on here, especially with the chorus. To see what I mean, listen to the song Save Your Heart by Ganglion, and then go back to this one. The lyrics are strong too, though they are quite dark, and I'm not just saying that by Band-Maid standards. If you want to know what I mean, read the English translation. This song appears to be about someone unhappy with their life, so they make up lies about themselves to make themselves feel better. Oh, but they're paranoid the truth will come out. That's kind of what I got from it. You may have a different idea. The track after that, Look at Me, has a nice deep groove to start. Definitely a track that's centered around the chorus though, with both verses and the bridge building up to it. With the choruses being catchy and there's a nice guitar solo. The lyrics paint a picture of someone who is shy and wants a person of their affection to notice them, but that person's oblivious, much to his/her dismay. The third track, Order, well, I think I may have a misheard lyric with this one. At the start of the song, I always hear, I want to be with you, give me your list. So, yeah. I guess Saki really wants you to give her the grocery list. Which I guess could make sense in the title with that misheard lyric. The song has a nice and catchy groove. The drumming is what steals the show on this track. The message of the song appears to be, screw everyone that's watching and what they say, dance with me. Alright. Brand New Road was the fourth song, and it has a more of a modern classic rock sound. It does get very jazzy at the 2:26 mark right before the guitar solo hits, and in my opinion, the kind of lyrics of the message is pretty obvious to me. And my interpretation of it is that the song's just about a divorce. That's it. And I guess you can say with this song, the Brand New Road was made. Nothing? Okay. Moving on. Your Guru is the first song whose lyrics are actually written entirely by Band-Maid, with Saiki and Miku as the writers. Nice bass groove before yet another amazing guitar solo, and overall the song is quite good. It appears to be about someone opening up to another person. Now, we're going on to every American's favorite song, or favorite word rather, too. Freedom! Nice vocal flow on this one. Interestingly, on the chorus, the guitars are very quiet. The only instrumentation I hear on there is the bass and the drums. It's an interesting choice. Overall, the guitars are actually a lot quieter on this track, except when the guitar solo kicks around. And I love the fills after the solo, the drum fills. Strong and catchy chorus, great track. Lyrics appear to be about someone who wants to break free and feels oppressed by their social status. Now, after that, it follows up with Before Yesterday, in which the intro and the verse remind me a lot of 2000s rock with the guitar picking. The song keeps itself fresh, awesome fiddling in the second verse, and after the second chorus, the riff almost sounds dejecty, and then the short guitar solo hits. Overall, this track does seem like it is the softest one on the album for me, though it's not quite a ballad. And I think the song from the lyrics is about saying goodbye about what happened in the past, both good and bad. Now, the album closer, Alone. Strong intro. I don't know why, but it just makes me think of a lot of the mid-2000s rock, metal, and surprisingly metalcore bands. If you played Madden 07 growing up like I did, or any of the Madden games from that era, then you will know what I'm talking about. It was something that was very nostalgic for me. I like Psyche's quiet but deep vocal delivery in the verses. My favorite guitar solo on the album is here. The vocals have a lot of power behind them in the chorus. Pretty much, from what I got out of it, is I got two interpretations from the lyrics. About someone who is caught in a relationship with a partner that is trapped in a maze that can't get out of, or about someone who does not want anyone near him and is paranoid about others. Overall, I will say there is not too many risks that they're taking on this album. They are choosing to keep all their cards to their chest, and while it makes the album very much enjoyable, it forces the album to rely heavily on its melancholy aesthetic, in which this is the softest Band-Maid album to date, and the whole album kind of has a melancholy feel throughout it. And it's which to me is the first Band-Maid album to sound like it has its own identity. They kind of found their sound with New Beginning, and here they're kind of finding they're kind of more consistent with a theme on the record, especially when you go into lyrically too, which lyrically, this album is really well written lyrically. I can't compare it to the other two albums that came before it because there's barely any English translations or rather, the English translations for those albums aren't exactly complete. So it's not fair to compare to an album that only has 3 songs translated as to one that has all their songs translated. A lot of songs do have a similar structure here. And I'm not talking about verse, chorus. I'm talking about things like the small details, like there's always like soloed bass riffs right before a guitar solo. The instrumentation is not simple, but there's a lot going on. But overall, this is definitely Band-Maid's softest sounding record to me today. Not counting the debut album, of course, because that's a completely different genre than the rest of their discography. Not sure if they called it. I do love the vocal performance on this one, as to be expected from Psyche, but the vocals do sound nasally or dry at times. I can't tell which one I'm feeling on that one. Not bad, but as they do sound a lot different from the way that Psyche usually sings. I understand that this was probably around the time when Psyche had vocal problems, so that could be a factor of to why I think it sounds like this. But the band is honestly playing it safe with this record, which is understandable, And on multiple listens, this album does feel a bit repetitive in certain points. So this is one that doesn't have as much replay value as the other Band-Maid records. But not saying that there is none, but I just don't see myself coming back to this one as much as New Beginning, Just Bring It, or World Domination. However, like I said, first Band-Maid record to have its aesthetic and identity though. And the singles were great choices, and they by far are the best songs of the album and the highlights, with the Non-Fiction Days for me being the best song of the album. This album is nothing groundbreaking from the band, but it's a good album and maybe possibly even a great one, depending on your personal opinion. That is why I'm going to be giving Brand New Made by Band-Maid a strong 7.5 out of 10. And my favorite tracks on this record were The Non-Fiction Days, Before Yesterday, Alone, and Freedom. What were your thoughts on Brand New Made by Band-Maid? And what was your favorite track on the album? Leave a comment down below. And this was the last Band-Maid album to review until a new one comes out. And I thank you all for joining me on this journey. I will review the band Miku album. But after that, I guess we'll just have to wait for a new Band-Maid album to come out before I can review more material from them. Honestly, again, I just thank you guys so much for the support and just watching these reviews, and let me know of what you want me to review. I will review pretty much anything. It doesn't even have to be a Japanese artist. I will review it. And this was just really amazing to be going through this band's discography. I will say, though, that I'm honestly really in love with this band, and I really cannot wait for their US tour dates to be announced. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I say that you will have, and I hope you have, a great